Okay, since we have discussed fully about the database as well as CRUD functions, create, retrieve, update, delete functions in databases. Now, what we need to focus is doing our project. It's a very small one. So you need to create these two tables. Can you see here? So you need to create these two tables, very easy. These two tables are basically table number one is student ID, student name, address, grade, and the telephone number. That is student table. The second table is marks table. The first table is student table. The second table is marks table. You need to create two tables, TBL student, TBL marks, and the field names are also given. Then after creating these two tables, you can just take a snapshot or screenshot. After creating these two tables, you need to do this work. That is the end assessment. What you need to do? Right? You need to create a Python application to add users, add marks to existing users, add marks to existing users. Then search users by ID, search users by name, search users by average marks, update user details including marks, delete marks, and also delete student with marks, and keep the record for permanent deletion in deleted status. Permanently delete those records. Okay, this is the system that I want you to implement. Take a snapshot, or I'll just increase the font size and I'll explain all this to you now. So first of all, you need to create these two tables and define the primary key. The first one, primary key, is student ID. The second one, you can set the primary key student ID, or you can just put maybe record ID or mark ID. Surrogated key can be introduced. Surrogated key means another, because this key, sometimes we need to enter marks of the student for different term. So yeah, sorry, I need to add one thing, that is term. Sorry, the other side. So to the right, that is term. Therefore, I think you can use this is term one, term one, term one, term two. You can use the student ID term both together as the student ID and term together as the composite primary key. This can be used as a composite primary key. I have highlighted that composite primary key. That is your table. And after that, you need to write codes to add the users, basically add students. And also add marks to existing students. So here you have 6 students, you can add marks to them. And also search them by ID. When you give the ID, you will be able to search the user. And you can give the name and search the user. You can give the average marks. So this is a bit tricky part. You can give the average marks and search the person. To do that, actually, you need to calculate the average. Then update user details, including user marks, and delete marks, also delete students with marks. And actually, you have to keep that in the deleted status. Do not permanently delete, because when you delete using delete query, it will be erased. No? Here, what I need is, I need you to delete this by just updating the status to delete. Maybe you can add additional column here. After telephone number, you can add additional column called status. In the status column, additional column called status. That status, or you can say deleted, or something like deleted. Initially, you can keep 0. This is not deleted. But when you delete, you can update the status of this to deleted. That you are not actually deleting. It's like you are moving to the recycle bin. When you delete a file, okay, let's say you are deleting this file, right click, delete. You are actually not deleting. You are moving to the recycle bin. Recycle bin is also in your hard disk, in your computer. That is not actually deleted. You are moving to somewhere else. Similar to that. Here, when you are deleting, do not delete, just update the status to deleted. Update the status to deleted and keep it in the same table later. So here also you can just have the same thing, right? Same thing means like you can add another one. That is no color. And this is status. You can keep the status deleted or deleted. Let's say deleted rather than status. Easily can be deleted. If it is not deleted, you can say 0. If it is deleted, you can update the status to 1. And later, you can browse the deleted records and permanently erase it. So it's like you are moving to the recycle bin. You can see what are the already deleted files. And from the recycle bin, you can right click and permanently delete. Delete immediately or permanently. Or empty. That can be done. So that need to be done. Actually, your deleted records need to be taken, and then those records can be permanently deleted. This is a bit tricky. You can take few weeks, doesn't matter. But complete the task. And whenever you need, you can ask for assistance. You can ask for help. Because when you complete that, I know that your knowledge is okay. Even you halfway done, even you are completing this halfway, still I can measure, because I cannot tell that you are not good, because like if you have done halfway, even you have done something. But don't omit this, don't skip this. Try to complete. Try to get the help and complete the remaining part. Okay, finished writing?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's move to our next lesson. So that is Java. So this is the database part. You will get this note today. So write down the heading, object-oriented programming with Java. Object-oriented programming with Java. That is our heading. Object-oriented programming with Java. So Python is a dominant language, main language for dominant language. But the thing is, still, Python is used in some aspects. Okay. But then Python is a very simple language. Mostly we are using Python script in everywhere, in the networking, in graphic design, in even in 3D animation, game development, security. It uses many researchers. Yes, there is a big scope for Python. It's a giant. But Java is also, because Java is cross-platform. Java came before Python. And it has it's dominating in the enterprise applications, especially these large scale applications, and also in the server environments, and also in the mobile environment. It is also everywhere. Java is also everywhere, similar to Python. But Java is a programming language more than the scripting based Python. Java is a programming language which can standalonely develop application. It has its own environment setup called Java virtual machine. We will learn that. And it is kind of like advanced language which can implement advanced concept like double OP, object oriented programming. So whatever we learn up to now is simple programming mechanism that is called structured programming. It is not that much difficult. It's easy. Anything that you want, you can just implement. Go and write the process. And once the code is completed, the process will be implemented. That is simple. But here, actually, we are not focusing much on the process. We are considering about the participants. Who are participating and what are the things that we are doing with them, these participants. That is the main concern. Those are called objects and classes. I'll tell you that, right? What is a class, what is object, I'll tell you, because without knowing that, learning object-oriented is basically kind of silly thing. You need to know what is object, what is class. But thing is that, so it will take some time to understand this concept. Today itself, you won't understand what is double OP. You will get, maybe you will have seen, you will learn the term, but I know it's not that easy to understand what's going on. But you will have a blurred vision, blurred image. You can see there's something, but you cannot exactly tell what is that thing. So that is what you are getting. That is the nature of this double OP in Java. But gradually, when you are learning, maybe after 5th day, 6th day, you will have some idea about Java. When there is the 10th day, 11th day, likewise, when we are going to finish that, then you will have a clear idea about Java. If you want to get excellent idea about Java, it will take closer to 1 year or 2 years studies, because Java has many aspects: server-side, servlets, mobile applications, enterprise application. It will take at least 1 to 2 years to learn that. To get a sound idea about Java, you need to work hard. Right? I think getting sound idea in Python is easier than getting sound idea in Java, because it's Python, it will take very short amount of time because syntaxes are easy. But Java, it will take some more time. But anyway, since we have learned Python, so Java will be easier for us. You will experience that. Okay, Java is basically, it was the first level language, but later Python has taken its place. But still, in some aspects, Java is number one. Some aspects, not all the aspects. In some aspects, Java is number one. And one of the best languages for explain object-oriented concept. It is a free one. Free. You don't want to pay on by Oracle, but it's free, because previously it is Java, later on by the Oracle. Oracle is kind of a commercial project, but the thing is still Java is free. And it's open source. Open source means you can see how it is created. You can dig into the code. You can see the recipe. You can see how it is created. And then Java is platform independence. That means it can run anywhere, regardless of the platform. Platform means the underlying layer, right? It can run in mobile environment. It can run in Linux environment. It can run in Windows environment, Mac OS, Unix, Solaris, anywhere, right? Regardless of the platform, it can run its codes. That is wonderful, right? So Python also had that feature But Java is the dominant. Java implemented that first. Then the next is, Python is basically, we consider Python as interpreted language, but some are telling it is compiled. But normally, so we can argue both sides, both has facts. Anyway, Python is, it seems, in the surface, we can see that as interpreted language. Interpreted language means, so any language need to be translated, no? Because what computer can understand normally? Can computer understand English? What do you think?
No.
Or can it understand English or binaries?
Binary.
Yes, binaries. 1-0 status, on-off status. That is why the power on button of the computer. So it is like this, no? 1-0. It can understand two status. Presence of current, absence of current. On-off. Yes, no. True, false. Right? Maybe in hard disk, in magnetic disk, it stopped. Like it can understand NS and SN. Two status different. If NS, it is one kind of bit. If it is SN, it is another kind of bit. These are magnetic particles. Maybe SN is 0, NSC, SN is 1, NS is 0. Some kind of thing. So in CD also, we are burning the layer. When we are burning the layer, these burnt areas are called pits. Pit, PIT. This burned area, melted areas are called pits. Unmelted, these are called lands. Not melted. So these are called lands. Actually, there is also two status, right? Pit is one state, the pit is one maybe, land is 0. Here north-south is 1, north-south is 0, south-north is 1. In power switch, having electricity is yes, 1, or not having electricity is 0. In wires, presence and absence of electricity. In storages, magnetic status or optical status, or it can be electronic status. Electronically, presence, absence of electricity. Magnetically, north-south, south-north. And optically, pits and lands, different reflection levels, different reflections. Here the reflection time is different. Here the reflection time is different. Anyway, just get an idea. The computers can understand, or electronic devices can understand these 1-0s or these two status logic. But we can understand English. We are writing programming language. Earlier days, people used to write languages using this 1-0 language, right? It was very difficult. That is called machine language. That was called machine language. And that is still we are using the same machine language. Right? Still we are using the same machine language, but that is very difficult. Because everything you have to understand. Everything you have to understand using, you have to understand and write using 1-0. It's very, very difficult. But when it comes to the modern languages, like high-level languages, we used to write that in English. Print, input, we used to write that in English, like print, input, display, these are the things. Right? Input, print, display. That is how we used to write. That is the nature. And actually, when we write like this, the computers cannot understand. Still, computers are not evolved. Computer can still understand this binary. Therefore, we need a translator. Actually, we have two kind of translators. Right? This is summary. Right? Machines can understand two status logic represented in binaries. That is what machine can understand. But programmers, or we can understand high-level languages. We can understand this high level, but machine can understand lower level. Therefore, translators are required to translate man-made code to machine-readable or human-readable code, man-made code, or man-made code, or another way of telling that, human-readable code. Man-made code or human-readable code to machine-readable code. So what are these translators? There are three kinds of translators. Number one, assembler. Translate second generation assembly language to binary, to machine. That is your assembler. Compiler. Translates all at once. C, interpreter. Translate statement by statement. Please write down this part, red color part, please write down in your book because this is needed. So first of all, please write down this part. Sorry, I couldn't mention. I will give you the note, but first of all, please write down this part. That is about Java. Right, then before this, write in the translation one. Before writing the translation one, please write this red color text. And then we can write the translation. Actually, only this part, right? Only this part you need to write down. There's a reason why I'm not asking you to screenshot. Just write down because for memorization purpose, you need to write down. Okay, number one is this. Don't confuse. Number one is this. Write down this section first. Then number two is this section. Number two is this section. You need to write down this. Oh, what's the color? Number two is the yellow color section. And number three is the green color section. That is this, how to use. So this is number three. And please draw this. So number three is the green color area. So please write number one, number two, then number three. Okay, the third one. Third one is okay. How we can translate a Java program. First of all, we need to write the Java code. Similar to Python code, we are going to write the Java code. Second is we are going to translate the source code. Source code means this human readable code which you have written. That you need to translate to intermediate code. So this is done by the compiler. This intermediate code is called bytecode. But let's see what is that next. And so this is very fast conversion, because the entire code, the entire source code is completely converted into bytecode at once. Then the bytecode is also intermediate code. That is why there's a bytecode, because we will learn the platform independency. Because when you have this bytecode is platform independent. Bytecode can be read by JVM. JVM is Java Virtual Machine. Actually, you can see this platform number 1. It's a different platform. Maybe let's say in this platform you have Linux and Windows. So platform 1 is Linux. Platform 2 is Windows. Platform 3 is Mac OS. Then you have different JVMs. JVM 1 is the Windows JVM. JVM 2 is Linux JVM. JVM 3 is Mac OS JVM. Actually, this bytecode, if this bytecode come here, then platform 1, it cannot see the platform 1, it will see the JVM. JVM will recognize what is this bytecode. JVM, no, it is my code. It's my child, it's my code, it will execute. Then this bytecode goes here. This JVM, it knows my code. It's bytecode, it's my code. It will understand this. Then this will be discarded. Not consider the operating system. Here, Windows was there, but no point, because this JVM will understand Java code. Then here Linux is there, but not a concern. Why? Because JVM will understand this code. Here the Mac OS is there, but not a problem, because JVM will understand this code. Wherever you go, there is a relevant JVM which can understand this bytecode. That is why this bytecode is there. That is intermediate code that can be transported to any platform. It will work in any platform, which means platform independence. Right? Then bytecode can be executed using an interpreter, and interpreter will translate. Then here in the JVM, there's something called interpreter. Interpreter, actually here the program name of interpreter is Java. Program name of the compiler is Java C. Java C is the program name. Java is the interpreter. Then this interpreter will translate the statement by statement, and that will be executed. And you can see the running version of code after execution. This is the running version. This is in the memory. This is in your hard disk. This is in your hard disk, and it will be transported to the JVM. And this is in your memory and the processor. Okay, that's the difference. And now I think you can write this part too. Now you know what is platform independency. It can run in any platform. The reason is different JVMs are there for different platforms. So you need to download Java development kit to do the programming. Right? To write our first program, you need to download Java development kit. Inside Java development kit, you can find JRE, means Java runtime environment, and JVM, Java virtual machine, and also the development tools and libraries. Sometimes you can download JRE only, but JRE will contain runtime environment only. You cannot develop. But if you download JDK, you can write the program and run it. Here, if you have JRE, you can only run programs. So please know these terms. What is JVM, JDK, JRE? Okay, I need you to write down this part too. And you have to here. Up to class, and so then we can start writing our first program. I know it's a little more than those previous days. We didn't discuss much about this, but now actually we are doing some advanced parts. Therefore, you need to write a little bit of more coding notes. Not to disappoint, but this is needed. I'll scroll down. When you come here, please tell me, then I can scroll down. Right. So this part, I think it's a very small part. You can just copy down. I'll explain what is class and object now. Class is a blueprint. It's a template for a set of similar type of objects. Whereas, so you can say student is a class, window is a class, a button is a class, account is a class, bank account is a class. These are concepts. But actually speaking, actually students are there. But if you ask, okay, student has these features, no? Student will get student ID, student first name, middle name, last name, date of birth, telephone number, address. These are the things, properties or attributes. Properties or attributes of student. Then register, pay, enroll, do exam, that related to the system, right? Don't write eat, sleep. Those are also functions, methods, correct? Eat, sleep, drink, walk, talk, but you can't put it into a system. You can write like this, but the problem is you cannot put that into a system. It's not a part of system. Eating, sleeping, drinking, walking, talking, jogging, that is not a part of system. That is the part of their life. We are not going to put everything into the system. But register, pay, enroll, do exams are in system. Register, pay, enroll, do exam, these are in the system. And these are called behaviors or methods or functions. Method, functions, or even behaviors. Methods or functions or behaviors. Attributes or properties. Attributes, features or properties. Okay, attributes, features or properties. Basically, those are nouns. Attribute, features or properties are nouns that explain the class. Methods, functions are and behaviors are verbs that explain the behavior of the class. Actually, a class is a blueprint template. You know that student has student ID. But if you ask, okay, what is the student name? What is the first name of the student? What is the last name of the student? Can you tell me? What is the last name of the student? What is the first name of the student? You know that there's a first name. You know that there's a date of birth. You know that there's a telephone number. You know that there's an address. If I ask, so what is the last name? What is the first name? What is the middle name? Can you answer?
Yes.
Yes. Can you answer? First name, middle name, last name. Do you really know? You have to ask the question back. So what is that? You have to ask, which student? If I say, tell me the first name of student, you have to ask, which student? I'm telling the student next to you. Student next to me is some, like, let's say Philip. Student next to me is John. Student next to me is Akhil. Student next to me is maybe Tyagaraja. No, student next to me is, next to you is, then you can tell. But this template having these properties, but you can't actually tell who's this. Tell me the first name. The values you cannot, but when you implement, when you get this object, you can tell the values. Class is a blueprint or template, right? But object is instant or real life representation of a class. It is an instant of a class, a real life representation of a class. It has values. That's it. I think you can complete this now quickly. The missing part. Did you understand the difference between class and object or not? If not, please tell me, I can explain again.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Class is the template. Object is the real thing filled with, actually, real thing that is created according to that template. Right? That's the difference. It's instance. But that is the nature. This is the nature of Java programming. That is basically bit complex than Python programming. So what you need to do is, first of all, you need to download JDK and install, and then we can write the first program in Java. We are about to do that. You can share the screen and start downloading JDK. If you don't have JDK, now you can start downloading. If you have JDK, I'll tell you how to write the program. So can you share the screen, please?
Is it this one?
It's JDK. Search JDK download. JDK download. Yes, you can go to the JDK 11. Oh, okay, that's awesome. And then you can download that. Okay, yes, go to, okay, here you can see. Not the RPM. RPM is for Linux. You will see the Windows version there. This is Mac OS, Solaris, Windows. Yeah, that one. Because I said that is cross-platform, you need to consider about downloading the Windows version related to you. Other versions won't work in your one.
Do I need an Oracle account?
I think you can skip. Don't have account. Oh, this time they're asking account. Go back. Okay, just click on that. All right, okay, just create small, just create account, doesn't matter. Right? The rules are defined like they change in time to time. Earlier it was not required, but here it asks some details. Quickly fill this gap.
Um, uh, uh, what should I put for it? This?
Sorry, that you can just put student. You can put your own.
Address.
Okay. You have to verify the email address. I think they have sent the link to you.
Okay.
Not received?
Oh,
Did you give this? Okay, that one. Very fine. Yeah, you can go to the download link again. JDK. Yes. Then click on that. Click on the download button. Okay.
okay.
You're getting. That's it. You have to install that into your computer.
Did it download?
Yeah, you have to go to the downloads folder. Go to the downloads. Yeah, double click on that and just follow the normal installation process. Just next. Typical installation. Yes. I think it's already installed. Doesn't matter, right? Just install the new version. Okay, next, and finish. Right. So now you have the JDK, Java Development Kit, implemented in your computer. So we can start writing Java programs from next day. Right. Just go through the note again one more time and also focus more on this assignment or the assessment given, because that is very important to understand your skill and the level that you understood from the lesson. Then see you next week. Have a nice day. Bye.
Bye.